Okay, so at 6 o'clock, we'll call our meeting to order and we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all. Nice job with the flag, either Sarah or Aaron, whoever did that. I just happen to have one. We have one hanging above our desk here, so. Okay, so that worked. Roll has been called. Sarah didn't unmute, but I'll assume that the roll has been called.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
I'm all set with roll. Thank you.
Very good. All right. Any additions or deletions to the agenda? I believe everyone has it in front of them. Hearing none, we'll take a motion to accept the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have motion and support. Do we need roll call for that?
Yes, we need to do roll calls for every action. And I beg your pardon. Who was the motion and the support?
I believe it was Roger and Nick. Is that correct?
Thank you. Okay. Audra?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes.
Roxanne?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
And Michelle?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so that is passed. Next up, we'll entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes of the April 28th regular meeting and the April 28th budget review session. Your pleasure.
Motion.
Okay, Larry and Roxanne?
Yes.
Sarah?
Okay, Michelle?
Yes.
Audra?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes.
Roxanne?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
And Nick?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Sarah. Nice job again. Moving on down the agenda, we have public hearing to review the proposed fiscal year 2021 city budget and related property tax millage rates. Matt, are you going to take the lead on this?
I'll take it, yeah.
Well, I guess it's a hearing, so we'll open the public hearing.
Correct.
Do this properly.
So moved.
Move to open the public hearing.
And I believe Roger supported.
Yes.
Sarah? Do we need a vote on that? Or do we just open it?
We need a vote.
Okay. You're up then.
Roger?
Yes.
Roxanne?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Larry?
Yeah.
Nick?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
And Audra?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so the public hearing now, I think, Matt?
Get there. Okay. Part of this also is the millage rates that I want to make sure that get in there, that we are looking at with the assumption that would be using as the property tax millage rates that would be levied for this upcoming year. And as stated in there, is we're looking at the general fund millage of 14.4060, transportation millage of 0.9604, the voted street millage of 2.500, and the voted library debt millage of 1.5, and then Public Act 164 library millage of 0.5, along with the DDA millage that's within that district only of 1.9716. Those would be the levies, and those are all the same as have been the last few years. There's no changes to that. One of the differences we know as we've went through this from what was proposed on those dates is we're dealing through the idea of the crisis that we're going through, and we'll be making some changes from what we had originally planned on, which was approximately a $4.3 billion general fund budget. And we're going to look at 8 to 10% off of that, which will take us just slightly under 4 million is what we're working on. And those are the numbers that we're currently working to bring to you on Thursday night of next week, excuse me. I don't want to bump another meeting in there on the 21st that we will have what we've been working on from there.
All right, who has the first question for Matt? I know we've all gone over this a few times, so. Okay, hearing none, is there anyone from the public that would like to ask a question or have a comment? Very few. Okay. With that, I guess we'll entertain a motion to close the hearing. Your pleasure.
So moved.
So moved. Support, whatever you need.
Okay, Roger and Sarah, would you like to call the roll, please?
Thank you. Roxanne?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Audra?
Yes.
And Roger?
Yes.
Thank you.
And thank you, Sarah. Excellent job again. Okay, so with that, moving down, request for purchase. We have a request for purchase in the amount of $242,384 to the Michigan Municipal Risk Management Authority for renewal of the city's liability and property insurance coverage for the period of July 1, 2020 through June 30, 2021. Your pleasure. Roxanne's trying to make a motion, I believe.
Trying to unmute myself. So moved. Yes.
I saw the movement.
Yes.
Support.
Rogers or support? Okay. We have a motion support. Comments and questions?
Just an FYI, the last year's rate was 239,208, so a slight increase.
Anybody else have questions or anybody have questions? Larry, did you have something?
No.
Okay. Your square light was lit up. And Matt, I just had a couple of questions. Well, one at least on this one, I guess. The insurance, the property casualty insurance, is that allocated out to the various units that we share with other entities? I guess is my main concern. The internal allocations aren't so important, but.
You mean as far as like our other services within our enterprise funds and that?
Yeah, like the water plant or the whatever it may be, those various things that
Yes, it is. It's
are
allocated.
flow through to other entities.
Yep, it is allocated throughout all of those also.
Okay. Just wanted to verify that.
Yeah, across the full organization.
Very good. Thank you.
Mhm.
One last chance. Anybody else have questions? Hearing none. Well, we've got a motion and support on the table, so we'll go for a vote. Sarah, would you please?
Hi. Thank you. Mayor, will you start?
Yes.
Thank you. Larry?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Audra?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes.
And
Yes.
Roxanne?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, that motion is passed as well. Thank you, Sarah. Moving down to agreements. First up, we have consideration of a resolution authorizing the execution of an agreement with the City of St. Louis for property assessment administration to be administered by the City of Elmore Assessor, which will list, appraise, maintain a complete set of records for all real and personal property subject to ad valorem taxation, specific taxes, and in lieu of tax agreements within the corporate city limits of the City of St. Louis. The contract duration is from May 1, 2020 through April 30, 2021. So do you have entertain a motion for that? Is there anyone care to make the motion?
Sure. I'll make a motion.
Roxanne?
I'll wait until the second, then I had a question.
Okay. Looks like Roger is making the second.
So
With
is this
that-
the same contract that we've had? Or is this, am I thinking of Water Authority? Have we had,
No, this is the second contract from last year was the first. This
Okay.
is an increase of $6,000 compared to last year.
okay, great.
Anybody else have questions? Okay, I did have one, Matt. Do you know could you tell us what's the basis of the allocation between the two units between Elm and St. Louis? Is it property value, parcels,
Truly
population?
negotiated. It's a negotiated fee. It's a negotiated settlement number based on where they had been in the past and time spent.
Okay, so we don't have a formula
Not
per
a
se
formula.
on this one.
A
yet.
negotiated
Okay.
fee at this point.
Okay, thank you. One last chance for any other questions? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. So Sarah, if you would please.
Thank you. Larry?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Audra? Roger?
Yes.
Roxanne?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, that motion is passed also. Thank you, Sarah. Next up, we have consideration of a resolution approving a final PUD, which is a planned unit development plan for 1425 Michigan Avenue, parcel number 29-51-354-269-00, for those interested in that. Authorizing the mayor and city clerk to authorize the agreement for 1425 Michigan Avenue planned unit development on behalf of the city of Elma. So your pleasure there.
Move approval.
Michelle?
Yep, move approval.
Okay. We have a second.
Second.
Roger. Okay, we have a motion support. So are there any comments or questions? I think we've seen
What
this
property is that?
plan
Is
several
that
times.
Avalon?
No, this is, I believe, Gemini's, right?
Correct. That's Gemini's. There's a duplex currently on the front part. It's basically across from King Park.
Okay, are there any additional details you'd like to share at this time? I know we've looked at it a couple times. Larry, did you have more questions?
No.
Okay. Anybody else? We don't want to cut off discussion ahead of time. Okay, hearing none, we'll move to a vote. So Sarah, if you would, please.
Certainly. Nick?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Audra?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes.
Roxanne?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
And Larry?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, that motion is also carried. So thank you once again, Sarah. Moving down to reports. Commissioners may receive the following reports by one resolution, or one commissioner may remove any or all the items in the section for individual discussion and vote. And tonight we have the Transit Authority April 2020 report, the Elma Police Department April 2020 report, a Planning Commission meeting minutes from May 4, 2020, and the City Manager's report. So your pleasure on receiving the reports this evening.
Motion to receive.
Larry?
Support.
And support from Nick. With that, does anybody care to pull any of those items for individual discussion and vote? Matt seems to want his pulled, so we can pull up the manager's report. Anything else? Okay, hearing none, why don't we go ahead and take a vote? Sarah, you're up again.
Michelle?
Yes.
Audra?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes.
Roxanne?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, that motion is passed, so we've received all those, with the exception of the manager's report at this point. So Matt, I presume you want to share some thoughts on your report?
Sure. I'd just like to touch on the talk of the downtown cafes and different things. It's becoming pretty commonplace as we're looking, and by no means does this mean there's any changes to what we're doing right now, but there is an anticipation, especially with restaurants, that when they start to open up, we're going to see a limited capacity type service. I'd just like to get out in front of you guys that maybe we need to give some thought to how do we help to support that to the downtown businesses when it does happen. A number of places are actually closing off some of their side streets that can be used that will then increase that capacity so we can do the proper spacing and different things from there, or even looking to the parking space on Superior Street that we actually own. It's not MDOT controlled, that we would be able to maybe utilize some of that space. So it's nothing, but maybe for the next meeting, it's something we need to start to look at to say, is there some use of maybe taking a section of Gratiot or a section of Woodworth or even a section of State to close off a little bit and do it at a point in time so that we can give the businesses the ability to operate a little bit easier as you're looking at these anticipated social distancing that's probably going to come up as we start to open things back up. So just looking for any feedback from you or thoughts. Nothing we can do right now, but just so that we have that in our mind moving forward.
Matt, I'm not sure how closing off a street off to the side of a business would help. If you've got some ideas on that, let me know what those are. But I can certainly see closing off the parking spaces in front of some of the cafeterias down, or the places downtown, and allowing them to put tables not only on the sidewalk but into the parking spaces. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the concern there is it's a pretty tight spot no matter what. You're not going to gain too much. When you talk about taking maybe a section of Woodworth or Gratiot or one of the side streets, it's a half a block, it's a few things away from that business. But it has been something that more and more people are looking at doing. And you have to have an agreement with the businesses around it. It would take some work to get that done because it wouldn't just be one business there or one. It would be we're good with that street being closed. And so multiple businesses can actually use the space. It would take some coordination and things like that, but I think it would definitely be worthwhile. It's going to be really hard to say if they're at 25% capacity or even a 50. The ones I've talked to, a 50% capacity is still going to be pretty harmful as they come back online. There's a lot of logistics to work out, but I just like to see if we could think. It's not really even outside the box right now because it's a talk from a lot of folks to look at something like that.
So Matt, if I understand the vision, and I don't claim to have any particular knowledge, but the way I envision what you just described is like we would close off the street, put a bunch of picnic tables there. People could go to the restaurant, pick up their food, and bring it back and set it to tables that we might put out on the street there. Is that the vision, or is that how this would work?
It's to give them that space because obviously Aaron and Eric know much better. I mean, their spacing will be limited. If we look at 50% or 25%, you're going to be limited to whatever their capacity is there. That's all they can have in there, which is really going to short circuit them. So there would be the idea, could they do that? And I would say we'd have to put some provisions in place where you are taking it and sitting down as opposed to a waiter coming and going. We may have to look at some different things like that. Some places are completely opening it up. I've read a thing today where some have developed a thing with using shower curtains and stuff inside the business. Everybody's just trying to figure out how do you get there. I think it's just a way for us to try to be a little proactive and think of what are some of the possibilities that we could help with that way.
Good thought.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's a good idea. I think anything we can do or come up with to help downtown businesses, we need to do that. And I think brainstorming and throwing out ideas, and I don't even think any ideas too silly at this point because I think everybody needs the help. Obviously, the first thing I thought of, I like the idea, like Greg said, you going in and getting your own food and then coming out. The only thing I immediately thought of was like, who sanitizes the tables? After my family leaves and then Michelle comes in, like who's cleaning that table in between? I don't know. So little things like that, I guess we'd have to come up with solutions, but I do carry my own Clorox wipes right now, so I can do that myself. But no, just I'm all for thinking outside the box. I feel like that's all we've been doing at my office is just trying to think how can we take care of people in unique ways. So if you guys come up with anything, I would say shoot Matt some emails, and if you come up with ideas even after this meeting, because I think we got to do what we can to help.
I think too, it goes along the other portion in my letter to you guys was about the reboot program that's going on, and some folks are talking, and I think we're doing a pretty good job of getting some of the different groups, Elma Action, KB, Pine River, or the Arts, Pine River the players, everybody were trying to get together the groups to say, but that's more for something specific down the road a little bit. But we have those people and those players involved talking right now. It may be a real good way to say, like you say, Audra, if we were going to do something like this on one of the side streets, we've got to make sure that the sanitizing is happening. And how do we do that among the businesses that are there, and being able to, and it wouldn't be just restaurants, because I do think that we need to start thinking of some of the other ones as we start to open up, of how do we give them some more space that maybe they have some, and it would be us relaxing maybe the Pure Cafe fee or something like that, but we'd have to look at that, how it would work best. And we sure don't want to exclude anybody down there. So
We might need to go back to the sidewalk sales days, where they bring the racks out on the
bring the
sidewalk.
things out and try.
I mean, I used to love those good old days of sidewalk sales, and
Getting any kind of spacing is going to be creative, and it's going to take that creativity, I think, for us to do that. I don't want to steal Eric's thunder, but I think that the farmers market opening went very, very well this weekend. So there is a concept that we know that's out there in space that we could utilize.
That's great. Are there more comments, questions? Matt, I want to, thank you for bringing this to our attention, and, hopefully this will bring, not only that idea forward, but if any of the restaurateurs or any of the other businesses in town have any kind of wild ideas that we might, entertain and to help them succeed, I think just having this conversation will let them know that we're open to listening to anything that they can come up with and doing whatever we can to be a part of their success. So I appreciate you and the staff for being open to entertaining all of this. That's great. And I see this could work just fine. We'll find a way to wash the tables. And the only thing with Audra, she might want to talk to Kendra, get some protection. She's got a stash of Clorox wipes today. That's pretty valuable stockpile.
it is. I was thinking maybe we could pitch in and get, those Clorox wipe stands they have like at Walmart to wipe your cart off. Just put one at the end of the street and people can clean their own tables. And
there you go. Yeah, I'm sure we can find a way if the restaurants are interested. We'll work something out.
I'm a big, like Jeff and I love the outdoor seating, since that's come to downtown in the last couple of years. That's like our favorite thing is to, go downtown and eat outside. So I'm actually kind of excited about the idea of maybe, putting up a community area that people can eat. And I think it sounds cool. I think there's lots of things we can do that, we can make it work. So.
Great.
I'm all for it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to cover, Matt?
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. With that, we'll entertain a motion to accept Matt's report or to receive Matt's report since it was excluded from the consent agenda or the report agenda item.
So moved.
Nick, and support by Roger. So Sarah, you're up again.
All right, Audra,
Yes.
Roger,
Yes.
Roxanne,
Yes.
Mayor,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
and Michelle.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, that motion is also carried, so thank you very much. Next up, we have appropriations. Is anyone in favor of paying the bills? That'd be a big budget saver if we don't. Roxanne? I
Yes.
see a motion. Do I see support?
Support.
Roger has support. Hey, are there any questions or comments about the bills? Nobody's questioning anything? With that, we'll ask Sarah to take roll one more time, please.
Roger,
Yes.
Roxanne,
Yes.
Mayor,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
and Audra.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. That motion is also carried. And it wasn't the last one, though. We'll have another one. So let's do commissioner comments. And Roger, I've got you up in the top left, so we'll start there.
I really can't think of anything. We're all just getting through this, and everybody's hanging in there. And I do like to see what I am seeing. People are active and waiting to get through this and wanting to get through this. One of the things that I have had a couple of people question me about, I don't know whether we have a decision on it yet, but I'm starting to get questions about yard sales and garage sales. Have we reached an agreement on that yet, Matt, or not ready yet?
Really nothing that we should probably get involved with that until the order is lifted. As long as there's still that order, it's pretty hard for us, I think, to be able to give carte blanche to go out and do that. So that's at least in my mind that I have in some of the discussion we've had here.
All right, I agree. One of the things that I unfortunately saw on Facebook was somebody asking if they knew when they were going to allow garage sales, and the comment was, "Who cares? Just go out and do it. How are they going to stop you?" Which didn't please me a whole lot. But
Hey, Roger.
hey,
Roger. Currently you're only allowed 2 garage sales a year right now anyway. So that's currently in our ordinance. So that's just like Matt said. It's probably not a good idea to do it right now until we get an idea of what if we should do them. But when you can do them, you can only do 2 a year anyway.
right, I understand. Okay, I didn't like the the crack about just do it anyhow. What are they going to do? You know, so.
Absolutely. Thank you, Roger.
You're welcome. That's all I got.
Audra, you're next on my screen, so.
Okay. I just wanted to share I'm kind of look at the date. On Wednesday, May 27th, the mobile food pantry is going to be in the Pine Avenue School parking lot from 4 to 6. And we're going to set up our Child Advocacy baby pantry there as well. So just want to get the word out to people if they're in need of food or baby supplies, baby food and baby diapers and all that. That will be a great stop. Again, that's Wednesday, May 27th from 4 to 6 at Pine Avenue School. So we know there's a lot of people in the community that are still having a hard time, especially I've heard a lot of the unemployment checks have not made it to the mailbox yet. So, you know, we got to help as much as we can. So that's just something if you talk to anybody or you can spread the word on that. But other than that, that's about it right now. It's just kind of business as usual at Child Advocacy and trying to, you know, be as supportive and as we can with that, you know, with what the community needs right now. So it's interesting times, that's for sure.
If I could just jump back in on that, Audra brought up stuff about the need being there. Community Cafe, when we first started with the delivering and the drive up, for the first 2 weeks, we averaged 50 or 60 meals a week. For the last 2 weeks, we have averaged 150 meals a week. So the need is out there.
Yeah, I'm shocked with this whole unemployment situation that there are families that have literally not had any income for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it's insane that I mean I don't know how you do it. It's nuts. So it's people are hungry and there's a lot going on, and I think I listened to the RESD. There was a lady talked yesterday about the summer food programs, and I didn't catch there's only some school districts that are going to continue through the summer, and there were some that weren't in the county, and I didn't catch which ones were and which ones weren't, but hopefully we can at least feed these kids and, you know, help that way. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. It's tough to realize that there's people in our community and families that are going hungry, having, you know, for weeks at a time without a paycheck. It's got to be just devastating. So I've got you up, Nick.
Not much to add. Just people seem to be doing okay, but do take care of each other and watch out for each other, please.
Very good. Thank you. And next up, I have Roxanne.
We have, if you have a student that's kindergarten age, we have the kindergarten registration online, so you can go to the Alma Loose Road Facebook page and click the link there and send in your information electronically, and then that way we can get your student registered and keep you informed of what is going to happen as soon as we know. So take care, everybody.
Thank you, Roxanne. Michelle.
I just want to thank all the people that stopped out at the farmers market. It was very busy every time I drove by or when I was there. and hope that everybody still celebrates the Highland Festival in some way in a couple weeks. And this weekend is usually the Keep Elma Beautiful prepare weekend for the festival. So if you are out and about, grab a plastic bag and help pick up the trash around town. That's it. Thanks.
Great idea. Thank you, Michelle. And last but not least, Larry Mott.
Just everybody be safe. Help each other. That's it.
All right. Thank you, Larry. And a great comment, and many great comments here tonight, actually. And I just want to add my appreciation to our community that we, everybody, at least as far as I can see, has been really, really good about obeying the rules as set forth by the governor. Fortunately, staff hasn't had to deal with some of the issues that many of our fellow communities in the state have had to deal with. So I'm sure staff appreciates that. I know we on the commission appreciate that we don't have to deal with these challenges of people on the local level trying to challenge federal or state laws that state edicts that we don't have control of, and will put us in the middle of that, which is a very uncomfortable place for the commission, the staff, and the community. So we've got a community that's pulling together, and very much appreciated. Very much appreciate all the work's going on at Audra and Roger and all the various charities around town that are really helping the families to survive this. Because it is difficult for some of them. Most of us are, a good deal of us are very blessed that we've got things. I still got a paycheck coming in. I'm grateful for that. But we got to realize that there are some that don't. So good job for those of you that are helping everybody out. It is appreciated. And with that, we'll open it up to the public. Are there any members of the public that would like to share any thoughts with the commission? I don't see online anybody other than staff, but certainly staff is welcome to comment too if they would like. Anybody stepping forward? Seeing no one, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn our meeting for tonight.
So moved.
Nick and Roger. All those in favor? Well, I guess Sarah will take the roll for us one last time, please, Sarah.
Thank you. Roxanne?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Audra?
Yes.
And Roger.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you again, Sarah. Thank you to all the staff for your participation tonight. We appreciate that. And thank you to my fellow commissioners. Everybody have a good evening, a safe evening, and we'll get together again soon. So thank you.